Today we're going over to Lawson's place to pick up a John Deere 3010, either 3010 or 3020, I don't know. He just told me I can use it. He's got a mower, and we're going to clean up this abandoned farm. This guy who lived in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina his whole life. He lived in an apartment, decided he wants to go out to the country. He bought a farm, and the farm's in just rough condition. I've seen it on Facebook Marketplace. I know how I am. Always on Facebook Marketplace, always get yelled at by the farm hands because I'm just on Facebook Marketplace instead of doing my job. And I saw it 2 seconds after it was posted. He said the price for cleaning up the property is negotiable, so we're gonna try to talk this guy high. So we're just gonna try to ask him for a ton of money. Anyway, there's Lawson's place. He's got a really nice place up there. He's got a barn dominium up there on that hill, and he's got cattle down here. He said the tractor should be in this cattle shed. The lock worked. We'll just pull right here, leave the truck running, and it shouldn't take long. Alright, the keys are in it, and this thing fires. This guy, Lawson, took really good care of this tractor. It's a John Deere 4020, or it's a John Deere 3010, and he's just been taking really good care of this tractor, and we should be able to use this tractor to clean up the farm a little bit because it's got a brush hog on the back. Alright, we got the tractor loaded up. If the Ford's struggling, I'm planning on trading in trucks as soon as possible for something a little bit bigger, since we do got quite a bit of money from cotton. We sold cotton bales from one field for like $47,000 last video. That is crazy. So cotton's definitely going to be a huge source of income. But we got the 4010 loaded up, or 3010, sorry, and we're heading down to the farm. It should be up here on the right. It might be so overgrown I can't see it. The GPS says it's in 200 feet. I think. Is this the turn? Oh yeah. This is the turn right here. Oh my gosh, that's looking pretty overgrown if you ask me. You can't even see half of it. There's so much trees grown out on it. And yeah, the guy says he's staying in the house right now. And he says that house is pretty rough. The outside of it, he says 2 trees has fallen on the house. And those are some rusted out silos right there. I probably should go close the gate. Close the gate. Oh yeah, there's trees. I think this thing's been abandoned since the 90s or 80s, because no way trees would have just been able to grow this big, and a farmer's been here, not cut them down, and a tree has fallen on the shed. I don't know how that thing didn't fall through. That's pretty rough. We're gonna use a 4020 to try to pick that thing up, and yeah, definitely some terraforming we're gonna need to do here. It's not looking too bad in here. There's some cement. This is probably gone bad, but silos are rusted out. We're trying to get those replaced, and we're just gonna brush hog this whole area, get all these big bushes out of here. But first, I think we're gonna need to cut down these trees that have just grown in the path. Looks like he's got a pretty nice Mustang right here. Never mind, it's a V6. This thing is a piece of crap. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is cut down all these trees. These don't look too big. These are definitely not fully grown. So we're just gonna... Oh crap, forgot the chainsaw on the truck. These trees don't seem to be too big, like I was saying. So we're gonna try to cut them as low as possible. Maybe this guy wouldn't recognize the stumps missing. This guy shouldn't notice these stumps. If he does, I'm just gonna go pick up, rent a stump grinder. Oh crap. Oh no. It just looks like the limbs got caught on the roof of the shed, not the actual tree, so I don't think there's any damage. But we're going to try to cut the stumps as low as possible, so maybe the guy would be kind of chiller about it and be like, yeah, you can just leave them. Because, like, look how low we were able to cut that stump. Because these trees are not fully grown, so it's pretty easy to cut them. But these bushes, are these bushes or trees? These look massive. I don't see any, like, big logs, so the brush hog should be able to just cut these up fine. Alright, let's cut the second tree. Alright, second tree down. These trees are pretty small. The 3010 should be able to pick them up just fine. 4 tree. Uh-oh. Oh no. Gosh dang, man. I'm about to have a mini heart attack here. All of these trees are barely missing sheds. Only limbs are hitting the sheds. I gotta be careful. But silos on my farm are rusty, but they're not this rusty. I'm gonna climb up there and actually see what the inside looks like. Peeking into the shed here, there's literally corn in here, like completely full. I'm getting a nice smell of mildew and mold, so this corn is old. Why would a farmer, if a farmer went bankrupt, why would he not sell this corn before he left? But this bin is about more than halfway full of molded corn. So I don't think we're gonna replace this. I'm just gonna go let the guy know and see what he wants to do with it. We're at the other bin right here. This one is also, this one looks more full of corn than the other one, and I'm getting a much stronger smell of mold. I have really no idea what we're gonna do with these corn bins. We're probably just gonna have to tear them down. Those are in rough shape. Luckily, this doesn't seem too bad. The auger, we might be able to use this to unload the corn and just go shove it somewhere. No bins, no elevators are taking that corn. That corn is just completely molded. But we'll probably just go ahead and cut these last two trees down. Timber. Uh-oh. Another time, bro. This thing barely scraped. Only the limbs hit it, and I... Oh my gosh, man. These heart attacks. I'm finna get a heart attack. Come on, man. Come on. That tree was a little bit thicker than the others, but the chainsaw cut it just fine. Old steel, man. Best chainsaws ever. Best equipment in general ever. And that should be the last tree. We're gonna... the 4020 should be able to pick these up. I might as well just detach this for now. And, actually, I might use it for extra weight on the back. Yeah, that's probably gonna be smart. But anyway, we're gonna try to pick up these trees. Move the truck out of the way. And I'm actually gonna go talk with the guy down there. I'm gonna run down there real quick, knock on his back door because it's physically impossible to get to the front door. And we're gonna ask him what he wants me to do with all these trees. You want me to load them up and haul them off? Alright. I'm gonna charge you a little more for that because, you know, taking them down to the junkyard or wherever you want me to take them, it's gonna cost me a fee. So yeah, I'll charge you like 1,000 extra for that. Alright, so the guy wants me to haul the trees off. So we're gonna do that, but we're obviously gonna charge him extra, because wherever we take those trees, it's gonna cost us a fee to dump them there. The tree is not able to fit on the forks with all these limbs, so we're gonna have to cut them off. Why is this tree taking so long to cut? Oh my gosh. Alright, we got the first log on the 3010, and we're just probably gonna put this in the bed, because this one's pretty small. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm probably just gonna drop it. There it goes. I can just lift this up. I don't know what I'm doing. And it just no-clipped through the bed. That is awesome. Alright, we got that log loaded up, and we got about a million more of those to do. You wouldn't really call me a professional at this, so I'm cutting these trees pretty bad. We got the tree cut in really small logs. I can just throw them back here, so I guess you'll consider that first tree done. Yeah, like, what is this, bro? Why am I hauling this off? This is, like, pretty much useless. And why is the 50... I just almost called this a 50-20. Why is the 3010 still running? It's definitely not the most professional way to load logs, but it works. Screw taking this to a place to burn them. I'm just gonna have my own bonfire. Anyway, on to tree number 2. Oh yeah, now that's how you load trees. We got half of that tree knocked down in just this one load. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, this is gonna be rough hauling. Luckily my farm's like 2 miles away from here, probably less than that. There you go, that should be good. Right there, just I can't really see. I'm just gonna, I think it's open. There we go. Just lift it up. Oh my gosh, of course it's caught. Of course it's caught. I just got hit in the face with a tree. These limbs, these leaves are so annoying. You cannot see what you're doing. Bruh. And this one is still caught. There we go. Yeah, we don't want to hit this tree, but we got like half of that tree left, and we'll move on to the next tree. And then I don't think he wants me to mow the yard, because he's actually going to mow this off for hay. He wants me to just mow the little path to the fence from the road to the farm, and just around the farm, not the, like, yard, because he's going to cut that for hay. I mean, you can actually lift this piece up, so we're just going to lift this piece up and throw it on the tractor. There we go. I didn't realize how fun logging is in Farm Sim. This actually, I'm having a blast right now. I don't know if this is considered logging, but like cleaning up farms, this is really fun. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this load's not looking too bad, and oh my gosh, I accidentally strapped my tractor to it. There we go. That load's not looking too bad at all. And this little part of the farm right here is looking a lot better. But like little limbs like this, we should just be fine to throw them to the side. It's actually kind of big. I'm just gonna put it on just to be case. I don't want this guy to get mad at me. And are those ducks up there? I should have brought my shotgun. I could have shot one of those cooked duck wings tonight. I don't even think that's a thing. But anyway, when people hunt for ducks, do they like? I don't know how do they cook them? They just eat the whole duck, like the duck whole. Looks like we forgot a tree right here, so we gotta cut this down. I'm gonna cut it this way so it doesn't fall in the shed. There we go. It got caught on the other tree a little bit. But yeah, it got caught on that other tree, but that's better than falling on the shed. Right, this is the biggest tree here, so this one should take the longest, but after this, it's gonna be a lot more easier. Alright, we got the biggest log on the tree loaded up, and we're just gonna go drop this probably on the edge of the trailer right here. Anyway, we're just gonna keep rolling, putting trees on the PJ, and hopefully it won't be too bad clearing all this out. So, I couldn't figure out how to cut the limbs off, the leaves off the trees, so, this is what we're working with here. This is, the most redneck, illegal thing I've probably ever done. And we can't even fit through, man. So hopefully there's not a single car on the road, because if there is, we're cooked. Alright, we made it back to the farm, y'all, and this is a pretty good place back here. We're just going to unstrap everything and just rev the truck to see if these trees, these limbs could just fly off. Alright, everything should be unstrapped. It's so hard to see, but we're just gonna give it a rev and see if we can, and see if all these limbs would fly off. Alright, all those trees came off pretty easily. We just had to rev the Ford quite a bit. But, yeah, other than that, we'll just head back there. Cut the rest of those trees. Or the trees are already cut. We're just going to head back to the farm and finish loading up all the rest of the trees. We should be able to get it all in one load here. Alright, we're pulling out of the farm with the last load of trees. These trees were smaller, so we were able to pick it up whole with the 3010. And we're going to head back to the farm, drop this off, and then we're going to be able to start brush hogging. Alright, we're gonna drop off the last load here. There we go. That's not the neatest job, but it would work for now. We're probably just gonna leave those there for like ever, cause it's kind of just to the side. And who really cares what our farm looks like? We're just here to make money. And we left this log on the road. It must have fell off. I'll just move it right there for now. And it already looks a ton better without all those trees, so it should be pretty easy to start brush hogging now. And we'll start brush hogging here. Attach the PTO. Turn on the mower. There you go. Turn on the mower. Put in our earpods. Listen to Keith Willie. And we'll just be out here brush hogging. Alright. This mower should be able to cut these big bushes down. Yeah. Cuts them down like nothing. Nothing runs like a deer, baby. Now this 3010 is struggling a little bit though to move the mower around, which is not good. But we're still running. We're still able to run around 5 miles an hour. Hold up. Let's put it down a little bit. Nah. It would probably be best to run it in 5th gear. And the rain must have hit that inside of that shed there perfectly, because some bushes are growing in there too, so got that bush out of the way, and absolutely no barn finds in that shed. Oh yeah, this 3010 is struggling a lot, and oh gosh, we forgot a log. Keep hitting those stumps. Luckily there's the deck on the brush hog stopping me from running them over, completely destroying the blade. Alright, we're just about done brush hogging here. We're just doing around the house, and this guy's somehow staying in here, like I already said at the beginning of the video, I think. But that is crazy. 2 trees fell on the house and the roof didn't even collapse. But he says there is leaks, so that's not my job. I'm just here to clean it up. I'm not here to fix those leaks. Some other guy. Who does that? Do plumbers repair the leaks, or who? I think plumbers only repair the leaks for like toilets. 3010 is struggling a ton. If we had a bigger tractor, this would have already been done. But we just had it in 7th gear this whole time, and I don't know, maybe we should try to move it down a little bit. No, I think 7's the best. We try to keep it down to like lower in like 3rd or 4th, but it goes fastest at 7th. He just came out and told me not to cut any around the house, because he said he's literally belling everything besides this area. Hay, he's milling all that back there, all that around the house, around hay. He just told me to pick up the trees, and anything in the shop is mine, he said. Or that's if I find anything in the shops, but I don't know, I don't think I am. He says the Quonset is like sealed shut because of rust. Luckily I got WD-40, so that should solve the problem. Alright, we're done with the brush hog, and now time to go try to move these trees out of the way. Oh, this is going to be tough for the 3010 here. Don't want to break any windows. We just got to turn this thing right. And we might actually ask him to move his Mustang. I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, I'm going to ask him to move his Mustang. He told me the keys are in it, and I can just move it myself, so let's give this thing a go. Even though it's a V6, it might be pretty good. Might sound pretty good. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good. It sounds okay, but the fact that it's a V6. There we go. There we go. That's much better. This 3010 is like moving a little bit, trying to move this thing out of here. There we go. I'm just gonna go set this over here on the other side of the property for now. Alright, now time to brush hog all of this stuff in front of the house. And we're probably gonna cut down these trees too. Alright, got the trees out of the way, and we're just gonna finish brush hogging this up. If y'all can see that up there, that is actually a gravel company coming to drop some gravel off for us to even out. I don't really know how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna give Lawson a call. He's actually offline right now, so we're just gonna pretend like we're giving Lawson a call. See if we can borrow his skid steer to flatten out that gravel on top of all that mud that kind of got brought up from the farm sitting here untouched for a long time. So this guy ordered gravel, and he just told me to spread it along the farmyard. We'll cut this last tree. Alright, we'll get the tree off the house. I don't know how the 4020 is not literally flipping over right now. This is a really heavy tree, but it somehow isn't, so we'll just move this over here. He told me the trees for the front of the house can just go into the bushes over here, but he wanted the trees on the actual farm up there to be hauled off. But he said these trees are just fine like this, so it makes our job pretty easy. But other than that, he's going to use the rest of this to cut some hay to get a little bit of extra money, so he doesn't want us to cut anything else. Not even around the house. He's going to cut literally everything for hay. All of this besides the farmyard. Put his car back. That load seems to be a little heavy there on his axles. Oh my gosh. They're about going through the fenders. And he's unloading the stone. This is going to take a really long time to flatten out, but he's unloading. He's going to head off. And there's Lawson's place up there. That's a really nice place on the hill. You can pretty much see everything in this area. We'll pull in here and we'll pick up that bucket right there. We should be able to just pick it up with our hands. It's not too heavy, and we're going to use that to spread that gravel around that property. Yeah, you can just pick it up. We'll just throw it on the bed of our truck. And we made it back to the farm with the bucket. We also still need to brush hog this pathway up to the farm. Alright, we had to attach a different bucket because that other one wouldn't work for some reason. So we got this bucket attached, and we're just gonna finish leveling off this gravel. We just finished flattening out the last bit of gravel. Let's hop on the drone. Let's take a look at this place. So there's absolutely no like dirt besides right here, a little bit right here maybe, because we're not really the best at flattening out stuff or like cleaning up farms in general. But like, just take a look at this place. Like, it looks so much better, I bet. And we still haven't even checked this shed. We gotta spray WD-40. We're gonna need to put some dirt right here or flatten it out a little better. But other than that, it looks really good around here. This guy's gonna be able to easily just cut hay around here and not have to worry about trees growing in the middle of his property. And it looks awesome. Only problem we got is there's saplings right here. I don't know how to get rid of these. You can't cut them with the chainsaw or delete them with the grass tool. And just pretend like these aren't here. But other than that, we got these stumps right here, and we just gotta move. What the heck? That looks trippy. All we gotta do left is move this massive tree. We're just gonna have to cut it right down the middle here, and just move it to the side. But we should get a pretty penny from this. We should get like I'm hoping at least 20,000. I know that sounds like a lot, but come on, we like completely restore this farm. But first, before I forget, we're just gonna brush hog this little path here. And we just got done with the entrance. It looks 1,000 times better. Hold up, we missed a little spot right here. And boom, that about wraps it up for the entrance. This tree is massive. Oh my gosh. How did the shed not collapse when this thing fell on it? We can literally just climb up it. Yeah, we can just climb up this tree. We're just gonna have to manually just cut down these branches. That's how big it is. Hopefully this shed doesn't collapse. I've been eating a little bit too much McDonald's lately, so I'm probably heavier than this tree. Bear with me there, shed. There it goes. It finally fell off. Wait. How am I supposed to get down now? Yo, man. Yo, can you hear me over there? Hey, I need some help, please. Maybe. Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, God, damn. Gotta rub some dirt on it. Oh, there we go. Feel a little better now. Oh, that hurt. I don't got life insurance or health insurance, so that's gonna be a pretty penny. Alright, that should be good. I went to talk to the guy after I broke my leg. He said I can just leave those trees there, that big tree there, because I told him it was huge. I wasn't able to move it. He was like, alright, it's behind the shed out of the way, and nobody really noticed that. But other than that, we're gonna have to lease a stump grinder to come grind up all these stumps. Because Lawson unfortunately did not have one. We just leased a skid steer and a stump grinder, and that cost $1,500. But whatever makes the client happy, I guess. We gotta get these stumps out of here, so this guy will give me a good review. Alright, attach the hoses. This is a pretty nice bobcat. We're stump grinding. Let's go. There we go, first stump down. Alright, we got all the stumps cleaned up. This property looks a billion times better, and we're gonna go take this thing back. Wait, was I really just about to drive this all the way back to the dealership? Yeah, we're loading this thing up. Alright, boys, that's probably gonna be the end of this episode. Appreciate y'all watching. We got around 18,500 from that job. That puts us around $166,000. But before we go, why don't we get a before and after picture of this farm? And I think that looks a lot better than before, and this client is really happy. He was able to get me to clean this farm for him, and he's gonna start farming. So excited to see how this guy turns out, how this guy's farm turns out, and other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.